All right, thanks, guys. Obviously, pretty frustrating with the result. Felt like the end of the game there, we got one taken from us. Very proud of the way our players played. I felt like we played very well defensively. Really did a great job holding a very good rushing attack to very minimum yardage in terms of what they've comparatively done throughout the season. Offensively, I thought we did a much better job on conversion downs. We were able to move the chains more effectively, especially in the second half. I thought our quarterback played exceptionally well. He really put the team on his back in on a lot of ways offensively. Obviously, right behind that offensive line. That offensive line has continued to be the benchmark for our club, and held a team that's leading our conference in sacks to zero. They've had 37 on the season, but zero against the Vandals. So, very excited about the way that those guys played, and I think it's going to really set us up heading into our last week versus Idaho State. So. Again, I'll open it up to you guys for any questions, but again, extremely happy with the way these guys fought. These guys play hard every snap, and I'm really, really proud of our kids.
Yeah, Coach, how you doing? First off, pretty great defensive performance overall until that last drive. What do you think about the defense performance, and what do you think happened defensively on that last drive?
Well, I think on the last drive, we just gave up one big play on the fourth down, and then obviously they made a play that again, I have to question the call, right? I don't think that's the right call. It got reviewed and they said there wasn't enough evidence. But again, I thought outside of us giving up the fourth down play, we played well. We were in a position to make a play. Thought we made the play, but then we're not given the play. So again, not talking about the officials, but they definitely missed one on that call, and I believe that they will see the call or they will see this and think the exact same. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I'll go again. If Liam, are you going?
Yeah, sure, I got one. Coach, you had two huge fourth down stops, different points in that game. What are your thoughts on what the front seven was able to do in those short yardage situations?
Gosh, especially against a really good running team, just to stop those guys on fourth and short, not once but twice is very impressive. I think again our front seven has really turned a corner this season. Over the last 5 games, have really done a great job being stingy against the run, and I thought they did another really good job today against one of the top rushing attacks in the country.
What was the feeling on the sideline after the score with 9 seconds left?
Well, I think the feeling that all of our players had the same feeling I had. Like we had just got something taken away from us, and we could not control it. There wasn't anything that we could do to control it. And so it's very unfortunate. And I know that the frustration that I have is probably shared with the rest of our program because again, we felt like something got taken away from us that was out of our control.
Coach, Sac State dominated the yards and time of possession in that first half. Why do you think the offense took so long to get rolling, and what specifically clicked in the second half that was different from the first?
I just think we kind of had a couple drives that got slowed down by penalties. We got a penalty to put us in a 2nd and 25. There's not a lot of great plays for 2nd and 25, and certainly not 3rd and 20. So I think that was part of it. I think we needed to kind of adjust to what they were doing, and we made some really good adjustments in the second half. But again, not enough, and we didn't get it. Didn't get the job done. But I'm extremely happy with how we played offensively in the second half.
Just to kind of piggyback off of Liam's got a two-parter here. What do you think exactly was not clicking offensively when you weren't scoring? And I think I saw Matt Linehan on the sideline. Was he calling plays from the sideline?
Yeah, we're just trying to do something a little bit different. Try to get a little bit something to kind of change up the rhythm of what we're doing offensively. And so I thought we made some really good adjustments. And obviously the first half, I think that we just needed to see kind of what they were doing. And again, those long yardage situations really hurt us in terms of our conversion downs. But I thought we had a lot more third and manageables in the second half, and we're able to convert at a much higher level in the second half.
Coach Joshua Wood was, extremely dynamic on the ground in this game, executing the option to perfection, making guys miss, not shying away from contact. How much more dangerous is the offense when he's able to be such a lethal rushing threat?
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime you can have a +1 run game, you're going to have an advantage. And especially when your +1 is a guy that can really run it when he has the ball in his hands. Josh was special when he has it, whether he's running it, throwing it. He did a good job making decisions as well. So, I feel pretty good when that guy has the ball in his hands, and he's certainly a special dynamic playmaker.
Obviously, with essentially not making the playoffs, was this a game where you just like throw everything against the wall? Do you just try to see what sticks and what works, and how do you continue that?
No, I think, we had a good plan. We had to get back on track on some plays with some of the, again, self-inflicted wounds with the penalties. But we're gonna leave everything out there. We don't want to leave any stone unturned, and we're going to continue to do that moving into next week.
On that game-winning drive, Sac State picked up that huge 4th and 14. How much of a momentum killer was that?
That was huge. That's something that, obviously we didn't perform well enough on, right? We gotta get them off the field in that 4th down situation, and we didn't do that.
I just got one more for you. That last play of the Sac State drive with 9 seconds left when Cardell Williams scores. What are you thinking on the sidelines, and what are you guys talking through?
Just, hey, what do we got to do with 9 seconds left? Essentially, can we get the ball to the 50 and try to get a Hail Mary type situation, which ended up being pretty close. We got it down there, not quite to the 50, but we had a chance in the end to still huck it up there and get a Hail Mary, to win.
Coach, thinking back to that, the ineligible man downfield call against Sac State in the first half and negated their first touchdown. Your defense responded well and forced a 4th down, which led to them only getting 3. Later in the half, had that clutch sack that led to the Krotzer blocked field goal. Particularly in that first half, was it a good sign to see how resilient the defense was?
Absolutely. That defense has really been holding down their side of the bargain here for the last 5 weeks. Those guys have really played well. What you're seeing with that group is, again, a group that was very young coming in with only one returning starter. And now we have guys that have played, 11 games, and they have the experience necessary to make those plays in crunch time. And expect them to do nothing less than, next week with our, season finale.
Coach, last question I have for you. I noticed after the end of the game, Coach Marion for Sac State exchanging some words with Leighton Vining and a couple other guys on your sideline. Was this a particularly chippy game, and was there anything that led to that extracurricular activity going on?
No, I don't really know what led to those events, but anytime there's a last second score to win a game, tempers are high, right? And so I'm not sure what was said to Leighton or what was said to Coach Marion, but certainly something that we're not advocating for. We don't want to get involved with extracurricular activities with anyone, certainly not anyone's head coach.
So I got one more. So like specifically on that last play of Sac State's when they're at the 2 yard line, what's the plan defensively there, and how do you think you executed it?
Well, obviously not very well, right? We've got to do a better job getting aligned properly, and we got to make the tackle. We had a player that had a shot to make the tackle, and I don't think he was aligned correctly, so it put him in a disadvantage, and obviously didn't make the play.
Got one more question if we have one. All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.